you need to optimize instead of just doing what everybody else is doing. Your doctor says you're within normal ranges. Well, normal is shitty.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You want to be optimized. It's possible. Anyone can make money online, but creating a big brand, it's not easy. It's not an overnight thing. And you have to have persistence, and you have to have tenacity, and you have to have team. And I think what a lot of women do is they get caught up in paying attention to the things that aren't the same that they miss.
Yeah.
Instead of all the things you have to look forward to.
Yeah. This is what you do. You give us a relief because you actually share what's happening. Just tell me, if you had to start over today,
Yeah.
what the heck would you do?
Wow. If I
What is going on, Called and Crowned family? Today I am bringing you a guest that I actually follow and have actually followed for many, many years. You've heard me before. I don't consume a lot of content, but I have definitely consumed the legend, Chalene Johnson. Here's the thing. This woman has well over 1 million plus followers collectively on her platforms. She has taken us through a journey, through her journey of life, through when she crushed the fitness industry, to going through perimenopause, to getting involved in different platforms, in thought leadership, to having programs. She is a true icon in the thought leadership space, in the personal development space, in the online world. And we wanted her to come on today to give us a catch up. She's been on the show before. It's been a hot minute. We wanted to catch up. What's going on? We wanted to know what's going on in the online world, what's really going on in the online world, what is working right now when it comes to the digital space, and where do we see it going with programs, with offerings, things like that. We get really personal in this episode. She is so much fun. You are going to love this one. Sit back, relax, and welcome Chalene Johnson to the show. Chalene, you've had a lot of changes. You have moved to Miami. You stopped drinking alcohol. You got a facelift. You got a dog named Penelope. What's one thing that we don't know, that we haven't seen?
Don't know.
That we haven't seen.
Oh my goodness. I wish I could come up with something, but I literally put my life out there for the most part. I guess the one thing people probably don't see is that there are days where I just don't feel like putting my life online, and those days I don't go online.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about you because you are the OG legend mothership of all influencing.
You make me laugh.
Back in the Dizzy, like the best program I ever did was Smart Success back in the day. Now they're kind of you know, I'm just going to be real. And I wondered that long, like, have you ever experienced burnout?
I do. Because I have ADHD, I chase dopamine. So I don't know if it's burnout or I lose interest in things. Yes. And as soon as I lose interest in things, I don't care if it's making me money or not, I just have to do something different. Mm-hmm. And so that's pretty regular. Mm-hmm. And there are times when I burn out on social media. There are times when I burn out on certain business where I know I can't step away. Mm-hmm. But I do give into my dopamine a lot, probably too often.
Mm-hmm. Do you think now, like you just shared, you just don't go online sometimes?
Yeah.
We can get away with that, right? Like it's fine?
Well, I can. And so that's why I always say, like, there's what I do, and that doesn't necessarily mean you should, right? Like, so you just said I had a facelift, but that doesn't mean like every woman should have a facelift. Yeah. I have an income that isn't dependent on social media, but when it was, I really couldn't take a break. You know, so I think we have to be careful of how we're modeling our lives and what we do, and to fully understand, like, this person who I'm looking at and I'm trying to do what they're doing, do I know the whole scope so that I'm comparing apples to apples?
It's good.
Yeah.
So you had a facelift. You look so good.
Thanks.
It's like, it's natural.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for natural. I said, I want no slack.
Okay.
And he was like, well, we're going to try to give you a natural result. I said, that is not what I'm going for. I don't want anyone to say, like, oh, she looks refreshed. I want people to go like, that, you got a new head. And I love it.
You documented the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you have any hesitation at all?
Hell no. No, I did think more, I would get more angry feedback, but I didn't. Like, I mean, I got very, very, very rare negative comment, and they were usually kind of funny and always from like a private cat profile, you know? But I knew I want to talk about it because everybody whispers about this stuff.
They do.
And all the girls we want to know, A, and B, I knew I was going to do it, and C, I want to be very transparent about it because it's a big deal. And I think women go into these kinds of things when they know they want to, with the seriousness of going to get a manicure. Because they see these quick, like 45-second before and afters, and they're like, I'm going to book my appointment. And I think a lot more thought needs to go into it, and a lot more prep and a lot more research. Yeah.
You almost gave women a sigh of relief. This is what you do. You give us a relief because you actually share what's happening. And when you posted it, it was like, dang, but a relief because we eventually probably want to do that too. It's interesting how you do that for people.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, it's a gift.
I appreciate that so much. You know what? My favorite comments were from the women who said, because I wasn't expecting this, it's not for me. I would never do it, but I so support your decision to do it, and you should have free will. I'm just glad that you were honest about it. Those are my favorite comments of all. I think that there are things that we think we have to do in social media, or there are things we have to do as a woman, and especially when it comes to aging. I just want to change the conversation because there's this belief, and it's the one thing I will fight back on, is when someone goes, you can't say you love aging if you've had a facelift. I'm like, can I swear? Okay. I'm like, bitch, yes, I can. Because I do love aging. I just don't love gravity.
Yeah.
And I've been doing these things, like trying to upgrade what my mom and dad gave me, what God gave me, since like 4th grade.
Totally.
You know?
Same.
Like wearing different clothes, like just trying to make the most of zhuzhing things up. And it's fun. It has, I've been doing Botox since 4th grade. This is not new. This has nothing to do with aging. You know, and some people want to buy a Ford Mustang 1969 and they want the original upholstery and the original paint, and they think that makes them more valuable. And then other people want to buy that vintage car, and they're like, I'm going to restore the upholstery. I restored the upholstery.
Yes,
that's all.
Yes, you did, girl. Yes, you did. Oh my gosh. How do you have the courage, the gusto, the whatever, to just show up so authentic all the time? And that word gets overused.
Sure.
But you do it on such a deep level. Like how?
Not always. Like I mess up sometimes. Like I just try to. It's easier for me to keep the story straight if I'm just honest. But sometimes when I'm honest, I'm like, oh, that I didn't realize that was so offensive. And then I'll be like, oh, that was offensive, and I don't feel like it was offensive to a lot of people, and I was wrong. Like so, for example, after Christmas this year, I posted a video talking about how I find it so annoying that I got like 100 text messages on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And it's because I've been giving my phone number out for the last 2 decades. And I was just saying like, that was like, I want to spend time with my family. And I don't know who this person is. When did I give them who is this? And like, why are they sending these group text messages? And that was not relatable. People are like, okay, Scrooge. All right, Grinch, you know, and like, wow, really woke up on the wrong side. Like everyone was so annoyed. Like, you know, a lot of people wake up on Christmas and they have no one to talk to. And it's like, all right, fine, you know, okay, well, I guess, but I authentically do feel that way.
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's a lot. I just
Christmas.
I just want to be with my family, and
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this number texting Merry Xmas? Yeah. Like that's just what they write, and I'm like, I gotta write you back.
But in terms of being authentic, I just find that the people who will resonate are the people who you vibe with.
Totally.
Like it's people who you vibe with that you can just relax. And if the people who I offend, we would just never vibe. So it's okay. And I enjoy that. I enjoy people who can really be themselves. And
Same. And I think whenever I teach about social, talk about social, anything, your name comes up all the time.
really,
As an example.
that's amazing.
Yeah. In fact, I was on a sales call with someone the other day, and it's like, I want to be like her.
Oh my God.
Yes. And Bethany Frankel was the other one of how can I be more like that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it your personality, but is it also the time you've been online as well?
It has to be. Yeah, because there's a piece of it that, if I'm being, again, really frank about it and looking at it, there's a piece that I don't have to worry about. And like you've mentioned Bethany Frankel, she doesn't have to worry about being canceled. I mean, other than for her ego.
Yeah.
But financially, there's a lot to be said for when you get to a place where you're like, I don't have to rely on, everyone wants to grow their social, but I don't have to rely on it. I don't have to, because I've done enough things financially and shifted in enough places where it's not dependent upon being liked.
So you're just a free bird, therefore the frequency's higher because it's real truth that has a resonance. And I feel like it's louder because you're free. You're not hiding anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not worried about whether this is popular. I'm not worried about, is this going to make me more likable? It's because I need to be me, and there's certain things I just can't change, or I don't want to change. And so you see people like this who are new coming online. Maybe they started building their platform a year or two ago, and they are dependent upon growing their social. And I'm seeing that the people who are the most real, it's the easiest to spot. It's so easy to spot it. And we have to take so much time when we see something where like, this feels really curated.
Yeah.
And then you have to really zone in and go like, okay, so what is real here? Who are they really? And then you have to it takes a lot of time.
It does.
Because we're so worried that we're going to get scammed or our radar is going to be off. We're so afraid our radar is going to be off that when someone shows up super authentic, you're like, there's no way this is an act. And we love that.
Some of it, I feel like you have to unlearn. Some people, because there was this period of performance, fakery, perfect everything.
Yeah.
So it's the unlearning of
Yes.
that as well.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to resonate with people
Yeah.
anymore. And I think in the thought leadership world or the program world or the personal development world, let me just give you it too for your Patreon. When you and Brett talk about this world, because you guys have been in it for so long, and it can be really fake. And the circle jerking, and
it's so weird that people don't pick up on it. I'm like, it's so weird to me. Like, I feel like I'm in an alternate planet that so many influencers and people who network with each other, and they're all on the same podcast, and they all are coming out with a book, and then they pretend to be friends, and it's just, and then you meet them and you're like, I don't get it. This is so fake. I don't get it.
When did you stop playing in that world?
I think when I realized that's what was going on, because I had a name and recognition because of my infomercials. So I was doing infomercials, and we had sold tens of millions of workout programs, and I was on TV, late night TV. It wasn't like I had a talk show or anything, but so the show was always on TV. So there was that, what they call name IQ or something. And I had all these. Then when I shifted to start teaching what I knew about business and marketing, I had all these people that were like super excited to have me on their stages, and I had an email list by accident and all these things, and I really liked them, and then a good handful of them I quickly realized like, oh, this is just about what I can do for their platform. And then once you figure that out, you're like, oh, okay, well then I'm just gonna, that's fine, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to play that.
Do some people think that they need other people to succeed? Is that what it is? Or
I think some people, I think it helps.
Yeah. Well, I suppose because you get exposure.
There's no doubt that people who do that and I'm not like
Yeah.
saying it's a terrible thing. And I have friends who are really, really good at that, at the networking, and they put if they meet someone, they know this personal side of them, they can compartmentalize, and they don't think about that. They think about their clout and, associating with them and networking with them. And it has elevated their career. I think it will. I think it does elevate a person's career. I think you can move up faster and quicker. And the more of these fake and phony relationships you have, you are gonna get on that person's podcast when you're kissing their ass and sending them gifts. And I don't want to do it.
How have you and Brett made those decisions of who to jam with?
By learning as much as we can about who they really are, and just paying attention. I'm wrong sometimes. I hate it when I am, but it's happened where I'm like,
Same.
This person is legit, and then I'm like, oh, dang it, they're not. But then just I'm a very, very loyal person. I will fight for you. I will do whatever I can for you. And then once you get that other side of them, you're like, okay, noted.
Yep.
Noted.
Yep. With Instagram, you are ultra famous on there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you are.
No, you crush on Instagram.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying, girl. Has there ever been a time where you have felt like it's misaligned for you because things shift so much?
As in like today? Like today.
Yeah.
Every day I feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you never will figure it out. That's the algorithm. And it's because our interests are always shifting. So yeah, there are plenty of times where weekly I'm annoyed with social. I'm like, how is this not, it's such an important message. It's not getting any traction. Or how, like, so for example.
Yeah, tell me.
I spend so much time like, crafting the perfect message for her and, thinking about it and making sure it's the right clips and editing and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll post something really stupid. Like I posted a video of me and my girlfriends. You probably see the trend where you cross your legs as if you are almost like you're walking to the bathroom, and you all cross your legs the same way, and then you just kind of like gallop.
Yeah.
And it makes for the most amazing photos. It looks like you're walking very naturally. I posted like a 30-second video. It's the dumbest video ever. And it's currently at like, I think 13 million views.
Oh my God.
I know. And I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
Or just something funny and dumb will end up being the thing. And I think that says a lot about our interest online. We want to be entertained, and we really want some humor. And what we don't want is to feel bad about ourselves. And so I think that's the biggest shift in social.
Wow, we don't want to feel bad about ourselves. Yeah, you're so right. Dang.
Yeah, I have to be careful. Once I reached a certain age, I'm level. I like to say instead of age, I say level. Like I'm level 56, about to be level 57. I can't wait to get to a higher level. But when I hit like in my 50s, I felt like, because I never used to post anything physical, like nothing that showed my physique, because I know how I felt, and that made me feel comparison or like I wasn't doing enough until I hit like 50 something, and then I was like, I need women who are younger to know you're still going to be fit. You still have the opportunity to be strong. You still can be sexual. You can still want to post a thirst trap.
I was going to say, I love your thirst traps. They are so much inspo. Yeah.
But I always have to be careful with them because I also don't want a woman to feel like, how annoying,
But what I love about what you do is you give us the tips. You tell us. We went on your walking challenge with you.
Yeah.
I think I got a weighted vest because of you. I got into being a castor oil queen because of you. Know what I mean? Like
you were fully influenced.
Yeah, because
Emily.
you share with us what's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's not just look at me, it's come with me. And that's why you have a good brand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to do a lot, and this is a pro tip. Share the what not to do as well. Because if you're not doing that, people are like, what? Did she love everything? Like, how do I know when something doesn't work? How do I know when something isn't great? So I do try to regularly say, okay, this actually doesn't work. Or this was a big waste of money. Or like, this works for other people. I didn't find any difference in it whatsoever. Like, so for example, everybody's talking about peptides, et cetera. And The only peptide that I do is, I do two. And I'm going to say, before I say this, I'm going to say they are not FDA approved, what I'm about to say. I get them from a doctor that I meet with in person who's an expert in this area, and a compounding pharmacy that I can walk into. But they're not FDA approved. And they are only currently being used in animals. So I'm going to say that, but I have taken BPC 157 and TB 500 for inflammation. And I'm also going to say, I don't know that I noticed that big of a difference.
Okay.
I don't know. I stopped taking them when, actually, no, I haven't. I was going to say I stopped taking them when I did my facelift, but I didn't because they're supposed to, he was like, they should be good for the healing process.
Okay.
So I try to be really, really honest and not oversell things where it's like, I don't know. Like, am I recovering quicker from my workouts? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And how do I know if it's that versus all the other supplements that I take?
Right.
Or the other things that I do?
Yeah. So you're not committing this is going to make you get a six pack or
No.
Well, you
it's
know
not.
that's how people sell though, right?
know,
It'll take away
absolutely.
every wrinkle you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, your workouts though, you've shifted that, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause you used to be jumping and
Cardio queen.
queen,
Kill yourself.
kickboxing.
Yeah.
How have you shifted your workouts and what have you seen?
For me, again, you know, I don't think this is the right advice for every woman, but for a woman who's grown up with me, who lived through if every part of your clothing isn't drenched in sweat and your body doesn't feel beat up, what are you doing? You know, like I did multiple cardio workouts per day, plus a strength training workout, and I beat my body into submission. I did HIIT training and Tabata training and high intensity cardio for years. And because I started, when I kind of scaled back on that, I started gaining weight. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, that's why.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was perimenopause. And I didn't realize that I needed to figure out how to get my inflammation down and really my stress level, my cortisol. And I was in this constant state of fight or flight, and that I needed to just trust healing and be a lot nicer to my body and and do things I actually like really, really enjoyed and not things that I had to recover for. Like, I love running. I love it.
Yeah.
But my feet were always so bad and my body would ache. And I'm like, so what is it about running that I love? It's being away from everybody else and alone in my own thoughts. It's the meditative sound of my feet. You know, it's the music. I'm like, well, I can do that another way. I can do that without beating my body up. And I just started doing research on zone 2 cardio, which is just a fancy way of saying less intense cardio.
Yeah.
And trusting the process, and slowly the weight started coming off. Slowly the puffy face.
Totally.
Slowly. But more than that, I lost the weight of the guilt I felt every single day that I wasn't doing enough physically. That was intense.
That'd be a mind trip because, I mean, you used to film videos for hours.
Yeah.
You're the queen of it. You know, I remember back in the day, I would watch you in your old big house and OC and doing your crazy workout.
Yeah.
Like I would, you know, it is such a mind shift. I switched as well because I used to work out like a linebacker and and run. I would run in Santa Monica like 3 miles. And when I shifted and started walking, speed walking, weighted vest, all of it, I'm still doing weights. I'm still doing all that stuff. But my shoe size went down a half size.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says so much.
Yeah.
Glad you said that.
But the mind shift is a mind F. I was like, oh no, am I going to gain weight? And da-da-da. And it took time, but then it was like I started to deep puff, deflate.
I've lifted weights since college, like 4 to 5 times a week. But I could never put on muscle. I could never develop glutes or hamstrings or quads, which is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Never. And it wasn't that I've changed my weight training workout. I changed my cardio, and I started making certain that I was getting enough protein. And I could never get enough protein because I was so focused on overtraining. I was so certain that if I scaled back my training, I would gain weight.
Yeah.
So my body was never able to heal and never had what it needed to build muscle.
So how much protein are you doing now? Are you like a girly that
I don't count my macros. I mean, I will do it probably a couple times a year to figure out where I am. Especially if I'm like, okay, I'm not putting on muscle, what's going on? Then I'll track it like for a week. But again, this is what's right for me. Tracking feels obsessive. It made me feel like meals were math, and I'm not good at math.
Yeah,
which
same.
meant I wasn't good at meals.
Yeah.
And it just felt like so much work, and I could never have a perfect day. So I'd
Never.
finish the end of the day and be like,
Shit. Yeah. Yeah.
I failed again, you know?
Yeah.
And so now I try to stay within a range, and I just make it super duper simple. Every meal I make sure I have a big portion of protein, something that's a big, like at least 25 to 30 grams of protein, whether that's, a lean protein like a chicken or a fish or sometimes a steak. And sometimes when I'm like really stuck, then I'll do, protein bar. But
Yeah.
I love like cottage cheese and
Yes.
I just start with protein, and then I don't have to think about it. Everything else is a freebie. I do French fries, and I do, fun foods, and but because I give myself permission now, it's just, I don't know, my body responds so much better.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank you.
And I love when you share all these tips. It's so incredible. I'm like, okay, order, add to cart, like all the things.
We overcomplicate everything, and
We
we
do.
make women feel like they're doing everything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to give ourselves grace.
Yeah.
For sure. When it comes to online and, my gosh, you started in the fitness world, then it was Smart Success, all the programs that you crushed, amazing events. Now you've shifted, you're doing these like a fitness camp a year or a woman's camp, content. How do you decide what to talk about and how to move your content?
Yeah.
It's amazing how you've gone from different genres, by the
Yeah.
way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I do want to preface this by saying you'll do better if you stick with one niche.
Okay.
You just will.
Okay.
All of the platforms are becoming very verticalized. Like they want to know, who do we put you in front of? So when you're someone like me who talks about everything, I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm doing the algorithm a disservice, but it makes me happy. So I say that to say, like, don't do what I do.
Okay.
But I just do what I'm very interested in, and I'm very, very, very connected to my community. And I feel very responsible for them, and I feel a debt of gratitude towards them. And I want to give them whatever they're interested in, and they're typically interested in the same kinds of things that I am. And so because I feel a sense of deep remorse that I led many of them down the same path. And I know, when we know better, we can do better.
Yeah.
But I still have a lot of guilt over things that I said on camera while under contract. I have a lot of guilt over not pushing back harder on some of the things that I know were marketed to women in the health and fitness space. I have a lot of guilt over the fact that I was like the number one health and fitness influencer, the number one infomercial in that space at the time, and I was so incredibly unhealthy. And everyone was just following what I was doing, but I didn't know what I know today.
That's the thing you didn't know.
Yeah.
And that was what everyone was being fed.
Yeah.
Right?
So I do things differently now. So
Yeah.
now I will say I don't know. And I will say I'm doing this, but I don't know if it's making a difference.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I can afford to, but I don't think this should be your number one priority. Like for example, the peptide I mentioned. If you don't have your nutrition dialed in, don't even worry about that. Like,
Right.
who cares? We don't even know if it's working,
Right,
you know?
right.
And I think it's very important that now I am so, so, so careful of the trust that I've built with her. I am not going to make a mistake. I am going to be so careful of who I put in front of her and how I talk to her and what I introduce and how it's introduced, because things can go left. And it's an incredibly important thing to keep in mind when Other people are looking at you for guidance, and you're saving them time. So here's what I mean by that. There are people you and I follow who we say, I don't even have to research it because so-and-so is doing it.
Right.
And I know they've done their research.
Right.
Well, I
Right.
know women feel that way about me.
Yes.
So I can't talk about something until, or company or anything, until I feel pretty confident that I would recommend this to my own mother. Otherwise, I can't take that. I can't lose her trust.
That's so good.
Yeah.
There's been things I've declined her stages because I know the dark, dirty behind the scenes.
Yes.
How the guy is.
Yes. We've talked about
My
those things.
ego, man. I'm like, really want to, but I'm like, no, because then she will follow him or whatever
Yeah.
their thing is, and then I'm attached to it.
Yes.
And it's a huge responsibility to have a huge
know.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone doesn't have the context.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. But it does. I feel like God rewards you if you just take care of people.
But to answer your
Right.
question about like what I post on social,
Yeah.
I really do. I spend a lot of time in my comments. I don't. I try not to take in other people's social,
Yeah.
because it influences me.
Yes.
And it makes me feel like I should be doing more, and maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, look how many likes they got. I should
Yeah.
try that too. So I really try to spend what little time I have available in social reading my comments, and of my deepest, most loyal fans. I don't say fans, but community, the people who we've kind of grown up together, and so Patreon is part of that, and I really like they tell me when I'm off, and it's usually very valid versus a random person who shows up on your social.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you do such a good job of that. And I learned that from you a few years back to not go consume everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that's why I feel connected to my content in a different way, because I just don't go consume a bunch of other
Yeah.
people's stuff. I do consume if they inspire me though, and I'm
Yes. Doesn't that help your mental health too?
Oh, 100%. And my creativity.
Yeah.
Because you just stay in your lane then.
Yeah.
And you keep flowing and going and you
Yeah.
don't get all sidetracked. Short form or long form content?
So what's working versus what I like, right? So I think all of us are aware how disjointed we feel with short form content. Like our brains, our attention span is so short now. It's like literally like 2 seconds. Sometimes you don't even let the person talk. You're just like, I'm not interested. And you swipe and it makes you feel a little chaotic and seek more dopamine. And so it's like this hamster wheel. And we all do that. But I've noticed myself, I feel much calmer and more centered when I'm consuming long form content. So I personally predict that all of the platforms, we're going to see more long form content. YouTube is where I'm doubling down. YouTube, podcast, Patreon. That's content that I like to call keep me company content, where I know that there are positive associations with a parasocial relationship. I'm your friend.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking anything of you. And I'm not annoyed because it's an hour-long video. I'm not annoyed if you leave the room and walk back in and you've missed 10 minutes of the conversation. You don't feel guilty about that. You don't feel like you've let me down. You don't feel like there's something more to learn. Hi, cuteness. So I love long-form content, and I think we're going to continue to shift there. But what's working right now, currently, still on Instagram, is content that's under a minute. You can post much longer form. I think there are certain creators who are really, really good at it, and it's natural for them. And we're seeing those people popping off on TikTok. So on TikTok, you can post maybe even longer than 10 minutes, but for sure a 10-minute video now. And that's all that I consume on TikTok. I'm looking for a story that I know nothing about the two people you're talking about, but I'm all in on this story. Tell me what happened. Because you're keeping me company. And that feels good to my brain because the constant shifting feels chaotic. So I do think that's where we'll trend, but I still think if it were me and you were short on time and you can't kill all of these platforms, I would bank on long form YouTube, and that can be cut up into clips, short clips that work on TikTok, YouTube, etc. But when you create content for a platform, it's always going to do better. So even though the repurposing is great and it's a way to use that content, I cannot deny the fact that when you create content for that platform, in that platform, it's going to do better.
Okay, that makes sense. I remember the first time I heard the concept of, do an hour segment or 30 minutes and then chop it up and make 10 pieces of content of it and blog it. That was all from you.
Yeah.
Right? But it does make sense. You saying if you create something specifically for Instagram or the talk, it's going to perform better for sure.
Tends to.
What would you say to somebody who needs to sell a product? They're wanting to sell a product or service, and it's just not landing online for them. They're not getting sales.
Yeah.
Like, how would you coach them?
They haven't become the authority on that thing.
Okay.
And that's key. I mean, you have to become the authority, and you can't always create content that feels self-promotion, that feels like this is going to be a sale. I think the very best content creators are those who it's peppered in there. But they're the authority, and they're not selling in every video. Every video doesn't have an angle or
a call to action.
A call to action, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I don't mind every video having a call to action to comment something, people do have to be told how to engage. And that's going to perform better for you. But I think you have to become the authority on it. I think you have to create content that people are afraid to miss. Right? Like, I can't miss this. It's going to be so, there's going to be something about this topic that I want to learn about. That a perfect example of this would be Dr. Mary Claire Haver, who is a hormone expert. And she's so on the cutting edge of what's new in terms of women's treatment that you get to a point where you're like, I have to consume her content or I'm not going to know what I need to know.
Yeah.
So it's becoming the authority that people so trust, and you're so ahead of the curve and honest in your assessment that people are like, you save me time.
It's exactly what we've seen your son Brock do.
Yeah.
He's an authority. Like, you go to him to get the latest, the greatest, what's happening on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you what's up.
Yeah. I try to text him to find that stuff out. He's like, I just made a reel on it, Mom. Go watch. I'm like, just tell me.
Yeah, just tell me. If you had to start over today,
Yeah.
what the heck would you do?
Wow. If I so give me more specifics. Am I the same age?
You're the same age. You're looking as hot as you are, but you're
OnlyFans.
You're
I do not lie. I would go straight to OnlyFans. I would make my money. I would apologize to my family, and then I would invest in the stock market.
I love it. Okay. You're who you are. You have all the wisdom you have, but everything has been erased. Where would you go? What platform?
Oh, what platform?
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube. You go straight there.
Yeah, I go straight to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like long form content. I like to talk. I like I want to attract someone who's got a little bit longer attention span and wants to hang out and wants to talk about 95 million different things in 1 hour. And so I would be happiest there, and I know I would find my girl there. And I really do think it's a great place to appeal to sponsors.
Yes.
YouTube has been a great shift for me. So I shifted about 2 years ago. I mean, I've always had a YouTube, but it was like flatlined.
Right.
And then about 2 years ago, I was like, I want to do more long form content. And I went all in there. And I've just been like figuring it out, but it's been so rewarding and it's been my most profitable business center, and with the least amount of team and the least amount of headaches and the least amount of stress and jumping through hoops. And I really enjoy it.
Oh, and you're really good at it.
Thanks.
When you shoot, is it just in your house?
Dude, you would die at how dumb my setup is.
Well, it
Let me just
clearly
tell
is
you.
working. Yes, tell us.
Okay. So I use my iPhone.
What?
I use my iPhone. I use it as a continuity camera. It's attached to my laptop. It's me. I don't need anybody else in the room. Y'all are going to make me nervous. I do my own hair and makeup. There's, one light in front of me. It's in a bedroom of my house. There's no specials. I've got one microphone, one camera. It's my phone. And, we still have videos that hit over 1 million views because it doesn't have to be fancy production. It just has to be real, like be real with her. And so, some of the videos that have been the ones that have crushed the most are the ones where I'm like, okay, let me just show you. These are, I do have thinning hair on the sides. These are hair extensions. I got them on Amazon.
Right.
So let me show you how to put them in.
Yeah.
And girl, my skin is red and splotchy, and we should put this on your dog.
I know.
Red and splotchy.
Little Hughie.
Can you get this? Look at how cute.
Oh, cute.
Yes. Like where I'm telling her
Yeah.
all the things. Like, what do I wipe my teeth with? I don't. These are veneers. They're
Yeah,
fake.
yeah.
And so are my nails, and so are my lashes, and so is my self tan.
Yeah.
But I'm as real as they're gonna come.
Yep.
So like these are all aftermarket upgrades, but like let me just be real with her.
Yeah.
And I just feel like even my setup is real, So I don't know. Every time we hire someone to help us, I can't believe your dog just stole my hair extension.
I know. He's just chilling.
Every time I hire someone to like take us to the next level, they're like, you need this special setup and we need to, bring in all these extra mics and we need multiple cameras. And I'm sure I'll be convinced to do that at some point, but I'm like,
I think there's a time and a place for that, but I feel like whenever I do that to myself, like I'm going to have a full content day and look perfect and everyone's around, I feel almost like stifled. I feel like I can't express. It feels very performative, where I do better if I'm looking just hot before I go on a date with Jake. I go to the window.
Yes.
And I just riff or speak from the heart.
Yeah.
Like that.
Those are my favorite videos of yours.
Thank you. That's like what performs.
Yep.
It's not when it's like, oh, here's my script and like,
Yeah. Even the content that I make that's, repurposed from YouTube, right? Like where we're doing
you can do this. Like
yeah,
just-
heck yeah. I just make a little snarl and clip it in.
Okay. Yeah.
How is that?
That's good.
Okay, good. The podcast repurposed content,
Yeah.
there's so much of that now
Yeah.
that it's not performing that great. It's still performing,
But it's not as great.
but we want to see you talking like it's a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a FaceTime and I'm talking to my girlfriend and I'm not reading a script and it's real and it's authentic and it's from the heart. And what's beautiful about that for anyone who's listening is you already have that. You already FaceTime with your friends. I have a friend who's one of the funniest people I know. She's the best storyteller. Like when we go on a girls' trip, we all gather around her. She tells the best stories. You will pee your pants. And she's trying to grow her social. And I keep looking at her social. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, do what you do.
Yeah.
Don't be someone different on social. Open up your phone and the way that you get on FaceTime and tell me a story. Do that. Because that will crush. You're overthinking this. You're trying to be too cute and too perfect and too all the things. And you're thinking about strangers. Don't. Think about one person who already freaking loves you. When we open up our cameras, we think about our haters and just make the content for that person who you already know is obsessed and it's your friend. Because then you won't filter yourself.
That is such great advice.
Yeah.
Do you have any boundaries around your audience? Like, is there
I should.
Is there anything that you're like, I just won't go there?
Do you have something in mind?
Maybe it's with the kids or
Yeah, my kids, I
Yeah.
try not to go too much into their personal lives. I would have to ask them in advance. So yeah, I try not to go into their personal lives too much, but there's a lot there I'd love to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm just like an open book and I like to talk about like all the things. But yeah, so my kids, I won't talk about them too much, but anybody else is fair game.
Yeah. How has it been not having alcohol? Are you still on that journey?
Yeah. So, so much easier than I thought. Crazy. So I was a social drinker. It wasn't like I wasn't a problem drinker or anything like that. But once the kids left, there was a lot more socializing. And so we were drinking more often.
Yeah.
And then we went to Europe and ate every single meal out. And there was a point during our trip where I'm like, we've had champagne every single night, every night. And I never felt hungover. I never felt, whatever. But I'm like, my face is so puffy. Totally. And I would see certain content creators who talked about alcohol being bad, and I would swipe away. Like, no, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I do everything else. You know what I mean? Dr. Amen being one of them. I'm like, you shut up, Dr. Amen.
Same. I was,
but I love him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we should just like, I was going to see friends in London, and I was like, I don't want to have this big round moon face. We should take like 7 days off. And my husband's like, all right. And it was easy for him. And I was like, the next day I was like, why am I already thinking about we're going to go to dinner, and how am I going to get through dinner without having a glass of champagne? And so we gave it up it was like white knuckle, gave it up for 7 days. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this a little bit longer. And I started digging into all the research. And then it got easier. Like once I started reading all the research, I was like, it's kind of like if you've ever gotten sick from eating up food, and then you're like, you never want to see it again.
What's something you read that you're like, oh crap?
Just the rate of cancer and cognition, the way it impacts your brain. And I just, like with my ADHD, I already drive my husband nuts. And so I'm like, I can't have a mushy brain. That's not cute. Like I can't be rocking a rock hard body and a mushy brain. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so I just gave it up, but I never said I'm sober because I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
And I don't know about all the terminology or whatever.
Right.
But then after we hit the 1 year mark, I just said to myself, or all along we said, if there comes a time when we think alcohol will enhance the experience and we'll feel better the next day, we'll do it. And there's been, just a handful of times where I've had like a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
And it was exciting because I was like, oh my God, I broke the craving. Like I had a glass of champagne and I didn't want more the next day. I'm like, oh my God, I did something that I thought was going to be it's not as hard as you think. So I think people should just experiment, but open-minded, like experiment with the idea.
I am right now being pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all can stay out super late. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up and crush.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to feel guilty about it.
No.
But because I do think there are benefits to how it helps some people socially. I will say not drinking made me have absolutely zero tolerance for small talk and like people who like brag about themselves and boring conversations. I'm like, I want to stick a fork in my eye.
Yeah.
Whereas I realize now I would tolerate some of those conversations. I'm like, can you bring me another drink?
That's truly why I would drink at social events. Because I'm like, oh, here we go, and we would just talk about the weather and I don't know,
Shoot me.
and I'm like, I need a cocktail. Like if I'm going to sustain that, if I'm going to be here for another hour, like someone give me a cocktail.
Yeah, so I just leave.
I don't do well with small talk either.
Yeah,
I get really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you an outgoing introvert?
I am. Yeah. Definitely. So, and I'm okay with that, and I try to
totally
respect it.
How has it been moving from California to Miami? Are you loving this life?
I love it. The only thing I miss is being close to my family. I love California, the weather here is beautiful, and people are so nice. And they're not as friendly in Miami, and I think it's because it's such a melting pot. Like people are from everywhere, and so, I need to learn to speak some other languages, but people just aren't as friendly. But I love the freedom that we have in this season of our lives. I would say, I was talking to a friend the other day about course creators and how many of them are really, really nervous about AI.
Yeah.
And not just course creators, anyone, like a coach, anyone who's like a therapist, anyone whose job could be at risk, I guess. And we all have to think about that, right? And she was saying, why are you not nervous? And I think the reason why is we shifted and really focused on our investments in, for the last like 10 years. But like, especially in 2022, I shifted away from doing online course creation. And I shifted from teaching women how to start an online business because it no longer felt authentic to say it's really easy.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's possible. Anyone can make money online, but creating a big brand, you have to it's not easy. It's not an overnight thing. And you have to have persistence, and you have to have tenacity, and you have to have team.
Yeah. That
to.
is the truth. There's recently been a couple big people out there, podcasters, program creators that quit or,
Or shifting,
I should say, not
Yeah.
quit. And there's like a lot of buzz about it. Like people saying, is it over? Is the time over? Is this? And it's like, I wish they would tell the whole story.
Same. I know what. Yeah.
It's like, if you made X millions of dollars, did you invest? I think a proper exit would be, hey guys, I'm exiting this, but our family, we've invested money.
Yeah.
Especially if your role in what you did was help women create programs. It's like just
You have a debt of responsibility, I believe.
tell us what you're doing,
And what should we do?
What should we do? Because it's left people. There's a lot of forums and chatter, and I was recently at an event, and like all these girls were asking me, and I'm like, guys, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that connected to the program scene, and they were like, is it over?
It's closing. I think. What I think will happen. Well, first of all, when you don't give people all the information, the brain needs to fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
And that's where rumors happen and speculation. So you're always better off giving people all of the story.
Wow.
And I think that's critical, which is why when I stopped marketing the Marketing Impact Academy, I told people I no longer think it's really easy to start an online business if you're not willing to have a team that's going to learn all of these things that used to be really simple and they're not now. And so I think it's changing. And I also think AI is making people less. When I started realizing that millennials and Gen Z don't buy courses, they learn things from AI and YouTube. I'm like, all right, well, then we have to shift. The same way when I realized when it comes to marketing fitness, you can't sell a DVD anymore. Like, it's free.
Yeah.
And anyone with a BBL thinks they're a fitness influencer. So you just have to pay attention to like, where are things trending?
Right.
And people aren't buying courses as much.
Yeah.
Will they still? Sure. But they're going to want, and if you go back and look at podcasts I did 3 years ago, I was saying we are going to move to a done for you economy. People aren't going to want to have to watch 24 hours of course content and then going, I have to learn all these things. No, they're going to want to say, like, I understand it. Now I need a team that can help implement these things for me, right? Because, you have a team. I have a team. I couldn't do what I do.
No, me
I don't
either.
know how to do half the things that they do.
Me either.
You
I
need
know
a
how to
team.
turn on the camera.
Yeah, it's all different.
Yeah.
So where I think we're headed is I think courses are going to slowly decline. I think that anything that you say to yourself, I wish I knew how to, you go to AI.
Totally.
You just do.
Yeah.
And that's going to keep getting better and better and better. Where I think the play is, if it were me,
Yeah, please.
I would sell all of my assets and I would invest. I would make it my full-time job to understand the market, and I would invest. And that's what I would do, because that's predictable. Every other industry, well, it's not predictable, but it's less likely to go away like so many other jobs and industries. And I wouldn't jump ship immediately, but I would start, like right now, I would say my job is to understand wealth management, is to understand financial language, is to understand markets. And my job is to make the money that I have today grow. And continue doing what you're doing, but understand that things shift, and they're going to shift faster than they ever have before.
I love when your husband Brett talks anything about any of this stuff. I wish he would do it more.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you ever would more?
I don't think so, only because he's not a financial advisor.
Oh, so he.
So
Yeah.
it's that fear of, steering somebody wrong, I think, and the liability there. But we do talk a lot about it and try to shift people's mindset, especially for women my age who think they have, like, owning a home is the American dream, and understanding like that financially, what that looks like versus investing that money and your future. And so for me, what I think is still going to be strong is you still need to be the authority. And what I think people will pay for and a premium is a one-on-one experience, a one and done for you experience. I think that people are going to pay for together, small curated experiences. I think we're going to, a lot of people are now using ChatGPT again for like as their therapist, but there will, no matter what it is, there will always be people who are like, I want a real person to drive me. I want a real person to sit across the couch from me. I want a real person, and I think that's going to be at a premium.
What would you say? I know there's someone listening to us right now, and they're like, "Oh, freaky deaky! Like, what the frick do I do with my personal brand? Should I even work my personal brand?" What would you say to them? Because maybe their whole brain has been like courses and What advice would you give them to pivot?
I would say, don't immediately turn the corner. Like there are times when you realize like, okay, I need to shift, but a shift doesn't mean jump off the cliff. So it's slow and it's steady. You still have that cushion, that hopefully you still have that safety net while you're learning something new, exploring other options, and always pay attention to your own behaviors. If there's a type of content that you're turned off by, why are you making that kind of content? If there's a type of, if you've noticed like, I was a course consumer. I literally learned how to do so much of what we've done in our business through courses. I think they're incredibly valuable, but I implement. And a lot of people don't. But then I stopped buying courses. And I started realizing like everything I need to learn how to do, I'm hiring people to do that. And that's saving me time. And so pay attention to your own behaviors and know that that's a great predictor of what's going to happen in the industry, in our industries. Pay attention to the type of content that you're consuming. Pay attention to where are you shopping. Pay attention to the things that turn you off. Just pay attention to those things because you are the trend.
You are the trend. What's next for you?
I never know. I just let God put whatever he wants to in my lap and I follow it. I'm very devoted right now to helping women change the story around aging. I like to call it age maxing. You've heard of looks maxing before. I like to call it age maxing, which is helping women to understand like it doesn't mean you're anti-aging if you want to look cute and you want to feel great. So age maxing for me isn't trying to be younger. It's trying to make sure I feel like my max at this age, and I'm surrounding myself and feeding into my brain content from women that are in their 70s and 80s who I'm like, oh my, I need to be that flexible. I need to be that good in business. I need to be that, all those things, and taking inspiration from them about what's coming ahead and teaching other women, you don't have to buy into this narrative. Like this can and should be the after party, like the best time of your life, but you can't just write it out. Like you need to do some things, girly. Like you need to optimize instead of just doing what everybody else is doing. Your doctor says you're within normal ranges. Well, normal is shitty. You don't want that. You want to be optimized. And so helping women get excited. So I hear people say like, oh, I romanticize my life. That's a common trend. But I want women to romanticize aging. And to do that, you have to look at all of the advantages. I don't get a period. I can wear a white bathing suit. I can have sex with strangers. I'm not going to. I'm married. I've been with the same man for 36 years. But like, I don't have to rush home and make sure dinner's ready for the kids. I can sleep in. I can stay up late. I can wear a short skirt. I can say F you if somebody has something rude to say to me. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many advantages, but you have to pay attention to them. And I think what a lot of women do is they get caught up in paying attention to the things that aren't the same that they miss. Instead of all the things you have to look forward to.
They look at what they don't have instead of what what they do, right?
Yeah.
Where is all the places people can get to know you?
Well, OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans.
I'm just kidding. Have you ever subscribed to an OnlyFans?
No.
Well, Emily, apparently I haven't either, but apparently there's people on OnlyFans that do like comedy and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, like normal content.
Patreon. I didn't even know what it was until you.
Really?
And listen, if you're
terrible
loving this whole dialogue, if you want unfiltered, uncut, if you want more series, you got to do Patreon with you.
Yeah.
You did an incredible job on the late Dave Hollis. Your body of work, your investigation. What I don't even know if you knew you were that good at journalism. I mean, it was incredible.
Interesting.
Truly.
Thank you.
It's
not what people would expect, because it wasn't
No.
what I would expect. It wasn't what I expected to uncover or how I expected to feel about either of them, Rachel Hollis or Dave Hollis, until I dug in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But thank you for that.
What made you be like, I'm going to go this deep with the series? Or did you think you were going to go that deep?
No, not at all. I knew that there were some things that were always said about the two of them and their rise that was accurate. And I also felt like there was a lot of things that were like unfair, and I kind of felt a little bit sorry for both of them, and also kind of curious, like what really happened? What really happened?
Yeah.
And
I
because
was curious.
I was in this unique space where I ran in the same kinds of circles, and I stepped out of those circles about the same time they were stepping in. So that helped me to realize, like, I have some context, I can get some information. And I also have personal context in that I ran in those circles, and I know what a lot of that feels like. And so I was just curious, like almost in a gossipy way, like what happened? What went down? Like what was real, what was not real? And when I started digging into it, I just realized, oh God, there's so much to be learned about his life. I thought it was going to be a story about Rachel Hollis, but it was really a tribute to Dave. Yeah.
You crushed it.
Oh, thank you. It
Yeah.
was so, I mean, a lot of people who we had, so many people listened to that series that had no idea who either of them were or had any interest, but it's a slice of, it's a slice of real life. It's a slice of humanity. And we forget sometimes because so many people are famous online who you and I don't even know. Like, you probably have 10 friends who have over 1 million followers, and I don't even know who they are.
Right.
It's so weird. And fame can be a trauma, and it can expose people. But yeah, and we all think we want that. But it's so much more nuanced than what we realize. And we shouldn't get caught up in that trap
No.
because it ain't all that cute.
It ain't all that cute. That's right. Yeah, I learned a lot about myself through that series.
Wow.
Too. Yeah.
Emily, thank you.
Yeah, it is so good. Okay, where else can people find you?
So I would love for them to tune into the podcast.
Yeah.
It's free and it's on every place where you listen to the podcast. It's called The Chalene Show. And of course, I have a YouTube version of one of my episodes, comes out once a week, because that's the right pace for me. Anything more than that would be too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say the podcast or YouTube.
Okay, we're coming to YouTube. We're coming. Go click
I
follow.
love it.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you for having
Really?
me. You're the best, Emily. You're just such an easy person to talk to and so down to earth. And I love doing this. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. See you next time.
Bye.